Alright, hello everyone. Today I'm going to present my roller coaster project today. As you can see, it's made out of 2 support towers, 2 hills, 1 loop, and 2 curves, and a toy marble that represents my roller coaster ride. Despite the appearance, my marble does not make it through the entirety of my ride, since it gets stopped right before entering the loop. Regardless, I'm still going to identify the 0 points that will be present throughout the entire ride. Okay, firstly, positive acceleration is the increase in speed, which is present when the marble is moving downwards on a hill or moving downwards on a loop. Secondly, negative acceleration is the decrease in speed, which is present when the marble is moving upwards on a hill or moving upwards on a loop. Newton's first law Newton's first law, also known as a law of inertia, says that this marble will remain at rest. When it's at rest, it will remain at rest. And when it's in motion, its motion will be constant unless an external force is acting upon it, which in this case could only be gravitational or frictional force. Newton's second law, which is represented with the equation force equals mass times acceleration, states that this marble's mass will always be the same, but force and acceleration would change due to gravitational and frictional forces. Newton's third law says for every reaction, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So in this case, when the marble acts a force on the ride will respond by providing an equal and opposite reaction towards the marble. And then, let's see, considering that every object is attracted towards the center of the earth, the marble will have a gravitational force in the downwards direction. Also, every system provides a force that counters the marble, which alters the marble's motion. Centripetal force refers to an object that's moving in a circular path and is directed towards the center of the path. Regarding roller coaster, this type of force is present through loops. Centripetal forces is present through loops. And then for my calculation parts, the time, I've estimated that the time to complete this ride would be about 8 seconds. The mass of my marble would be 0.13 kilograms. And the length of my ride would be 1.33 meters. And in order to find speed, we need to use the equation speed equals distance divided by time. So in this case, I would use 1.33 divided by 8. And that would equal speed of 0.17 meters per second, which in that case would be my average speed. And given that I have my average speed now, I can now calculate the acceleration. So my average speed will equal my final velocity. Well, first of all, acceleration is found by using final velocity minus initial velocity divided by time. So given that 0.17 minus the acceleration from the start towards any point in the roller coaster, which in my case it would be 0.09. So I would calculate 0.17 minus 0.09 divided by time, which is 8. And that would equal to 0.01 meters per second for my acceleration. And now that I know what's my acceleration, I can now calculate my force. So as previously mentioned, my marble is, force equals mass times acceleration. And since I know my marble is 0.13 kilograms, I multiply that by my acceleration, which is 0.01 meters per second squared. And given those two values, 0.13 times 0.01, that equal a force of 0.001 newtons. Okay? And that's my presentation. Thank you.